Hello everyone. So welcome to this session on how to crack IPMAT Indore 2026. So all the students, all the fellow aspirants who is aiming to get into IIM Indore in 2026, this session is very crucial for you. Let's get started with the agenda, what we are going to cover. So obviously we'll look at the common mistake that generally IPMAT aspirants make, and what you should do to not fall into those traps. Busting some common myths, monthly study plan, step-by-step preparation plan, QA prep plan, VA prep plan, and the finally test taking strategy. This is what we are going to discuss today. Uh, let's start with some common mistakes. Living in superficial world. So for example, if I ask someone what is the paper pattern, I am sure most of you would know the answer. But still there will be some student, or maybe one of you who is listening to me right now, would say that there is a logical reasoning section in IPMAT Indore. My dear friends, you are living in a superficial world. There is no logical reasoning section in a IPMAT Indore paper. There are 5 questions which are based on either logical reasoning or data interpretation, which is part of QA MCQ section, but never a separate section. And not only about logical reasoning section, but there are few other things. For example, student may not know that the difficulty level of IPMAT Indore is quite difficult as compared to Rohtak and GIPMAT. Or student would live in a superficial world with an assumption that it's easy to crack Indore, probably could be done in 2 months or 5 months time. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to get into the nitty-gritty of not only paper pattern, but also what are the type of questions that are being tested and how much time you would require, and not in general you would require. That would depend upon your strength and your weaknesses, right? Moving on, living with some myths. So for example, a lot of students from a non-math background, they come to me and they tell me, sir, I'm not aiming at IPMAT Indore because that is not something my cup of tea, because I'm non-math student, and cracking IPMAT Indore will be really difficult for me. I accept that it will be really difficult for you, but that does not mean that you cannot get in. If you look at the data that IIM Indore has shared, there were 11 PCB student, physics, chemistry, biology student who got into IPMAT Indore last year program. Also, there were 4 IMS students who had taken commerce without mathematics, and they were also able to get into IIM Indore. And I am sure there will be many other students who are from commerce or a humanity background and they had not taken maths and they had still made into IIM Indore. Procrastination, this is, we Indian are champion in it. Like, if there is a gold medal to be won in Olympics, I'm sure we Indian would definitely win a gold medal in procrastination. We tend to delay things, we tend to postpone things. चलो यार नेक्स्ट वीक कर लेंगे, यार कल कर लेते हैं, आज नहीं तो कल, नेक्स्ट वीक, नेक्स्ट मंथ, एंड देन द एग्जाम is 1 month before, 1 month down the line. We keep on postponing stuff. I know that I am not good at trigonometry, I am not good at matrices determinant. Why can't I do it today? I know that my vocabulary is not that great, I am not good at idioms and phrasal verb. Why can't I start today? Why I want to do it after a month or two? Right? So you need to ensure that you are not falling, you're not committing these mistakes. Not revising, this is uh, a mistake, I would say, that which has been done involuntarily, not because you don't want to revise. Okay, it's not that you don't want to revise, but then a lot of students feel that I have already done this, why I need to do it again. It's because you are human, you are a student, and not a artificial intelligence. You are not supercomputers where if you do it once you will remember it forever. So it's always better to keep on revising stuff, so that in an exam, if there is a question based on it, you don't make a mistake in applying the formula, applying the concept, or you save your time. Even if you are able to save, let's say, 20-30 seconds in every question, and you are attempting, let's say you save those 30 seconds in 10 questions, right? You will be saving 300 seconds. That's close to 5 minutes. Probably you will do 1 or 2 more questions. That would be a game changer. and hence you need to keep on revising your stuff again and again. That's very important. Not taking mock. Now, this is a blunder, I would say. Not a mistake. This is not even a mistake. This is a blunder. Okay, student, they feel that they should write mocks only when they are completely, fully prepared. They are thoroughly prepared. Trust me, guys. Even on the day of IPMAT Indore, you will not be completely prepared. Yes or no? Yes. So the point, what I'm trying to make here is you should keep writing mock as and when you get an opportunity. I'm not saying that you write mocks every week, but at least start writing the mocks. IPMAT Indore mock probably as early as May or June, and then keep on analyzing where you are going wrong and what kind of mistake you are making, and then your schedule should be made as per your strength and your weak areas that you figure out in the mock. And you need to ensure that you are writing at least one mock in the month of June, July, August, and keep on analyzing it and keep on creating your study schedule accordingly. Don't just wake up a month before the exam and say, okay, now I will write one mock every day. Trust me, guys, it will not help you. It won't help you at all. Now, let's see the paper pattern. I am sure most of you are aware about the paper pattern, but still a few smaller, minute insights about the cutoff. You can say that if you talk about the cutoff, okay. So if you look at the cutoff here in a short answer section, the cutoff last year was 12 marks. Last year it was 24. MCQ was 39, last year it was 35, and verbal ability was 125 last year, and last year it was 113. So if I talk about MCQ section and verbal ability section, the level of difficulties was not that different. However, you can see here, 125 and 113. I would probably say that, okay, probably in 2024, the aspirant, a student would have made few more errors as compared to the student who attempted in 2023. Level of difficulty wise, I guess probably one odd question was slightly difficult here, but otherwise out of 45 odd question, I feel that rest all questions were more or less of the same level of difficulty. Okay. If I talk about the MCQ section, again, I actually speaking, I did not find the 2024 MCQ section to be difficult as compared to 2023. It could be one odd question here and there, and that's it. Short answer section, yes, it was pretty easy, pretty straightforward, because there was one set of 3 questions. If you are able to get it correct, you are 3 questions. I mean, you directly get that 3 question correct. Okay, so that made short answer section slightly easier as compared to 2023. But overall, if we look at the paper pattern, if we look at the type of question, if you look at the level of difficulty, level of the IPMAT Indore from 2019 till 2024, I would say that it will always range maybe -2 to +2 range, on a scale of -10 to +10. The level of difficulty will always be fluctuating between -2 to +2. Most of the time it is between -1 and +1. Okay, not much difference, not much of a difference in terms of level of difficulty of the question that are being tested. Okay, let's move ahead. We'll see the monthly study plan first, and then we will break down into how you should be looking at every chapter, and then quant and verbal ability. Okay, so Jan, we are in Jan right now. Jan and Fab, you should be doing fundamental module and number algebra vocabulary module, and you should also be solving the SIM IPM BBA full length mock that we are going to launch it in the month of January itself. Make sure that you write this test. This is not based on Indore paper pattern, but we want you to start writing the test from January onward, so that you have that habit of sitting for 2 hours, writing the test for 2 hours. That is something which matters the most. Okay, and once you have written the test, you will analyze the test, identify where are your weak and where is your weak area, and then make the plan accordingly. Then in March and April, you will complete the another module, which is arithmetic and a grammar module. I have given 2 months here, considering March and April, you will have your exams. 11th board exam, 11th standard exam would be there. And then in the month of April, you will write another SIM IPM BB, another again for 2 hours. Then in the month of May, you will complete the next module, which is grammar and reading comprehension. Oh, sorry, not grammar, it is geometry and reading comprehension. And write one more test, which is SIM IPM BBA test again. Then in the month of June, you will complete the last module, which is modern maths and verbal reasoning, and write 2 SIM IPM BBA full length test. So till June, you have completed everything and you have also written 5 mock. Now this mock is based on what you are studying. It is not based on NMIMS, NPAT paper, not on a Rohtak, not on Indore. It is not based on any paper pattern. It is just that there are going to be 90 questions, 30 questions in each section. You need to sit for 2 hours and attempt that paper. That's it. Okay. We want you to start writing this test so that you get used to or habituated to sitting for 2 hours writing the test, and from January onwards you start analyzing it, start focusing on which is your weak area, and accordingly you can plan your upcoming months. In the month of July and August, you will revise everything what you have done from Jan to June. That's what I said earlier. You need to keep on revising. Maybe not everything, but as much as you can. And then write 2 SIM IPMAT Indore, which is a full length mock, one in the month of July, another in the month of August. Make sure that you have at least 3 to 4 weeks gap between the two mocks. That's because you need to ensure that the mistake that you have made in the month of July, you don't repeat the same mistake in the month of August. You need to overcome those hurdles. In the September, October, you will use the practice book which we have provided to solve that entire practice book. Start writing the sectional test and also try to SIM IPMAT full length mock. Now, sectional test will help you. So, let's say you are weak in verbal ability. Probably you will write more of a verbal ability sectional test. If you are weak in quant, you will write more of a quantitative ability sectional test. So, there are sectional tests for short answer as well as for MCQ in quant, right? So there are 5 short answer sectional tests, 5 MCQ and 5 for verbal ability. At the same time, you'll also write 2 SIM IPMAT Indore, one in September, the another in October. Then in November, December, again you will revise here. Now when you are revising here in the month of December, November, December, you will not revise everything that you have done. Probably you will revise only those chapters which you feel you are weak at it, and those chapters which you feel that you need a revision, you tend to forget things from those chapters. So you need to be smart enough. Now the smart work will start, you will have to work smartly. Keep solving the practice book that we have given and write 2 SIM IPMAT Indore again in 1 November, 1 December. In January, February, keep it little light. Only revise, probably keep in touch with those topics that you are not good at it. Probably half an hour a day kind of thing, that should be enough. And one full length mock in Jan and one full length mock in February, depending upon your boards and everything, just to ensure that you are in touch with your preparation. Nothing much, as I said, half an hour a day, maybe on one, some day you're not doing anything, absolutely fine. So ideally, this is what your schedule should look like from this Jan till next February. And then when you come after your board exam, then you are revising everything once again. You will be solving, attending the master classes that we provide, and you will be solving 12 full length IPMAT Indore test. 12 full length IPMAT Indore test, probably it would mean 2 or 3 full length mocks every week. That is how your schedule should look like from today till you get into, till you go and write IPMAT in the 2026. This is how your, I would say, a template, a skeleton of your schedule should look like. Now it is your job to break down this into a week schedule. I have given you a month schedule. Now you should break down into a weekly schedule and ensure that you are following the schedule. Trust me, if you follow the schedule, you will definitely clear the sectional cutoff of IPMAT Indore section. Not only just clear the sectional cutoff, but you will also score really high mark. Trust me, this is the trusted and the proven formula to get into IPMAT Indore and to crack IPMAT Indore. Just simply follow this and ensure that you are doing everything. You have tick mark at every checkpoints. Okay, step by step prep plan. So obviously, let's say you take one chapter, then you will watch the pre-class video for that chapter, solve the concept class which is there, then you will solve the class exercise, then you will ensure that you are solving the practice exercise. After you have done the class exercise, move on to the practice exercise. Then after practice exercise, you start with the next chapter. Let's say QA numbers 2. You start with the next chapter. And then you follow the same process. And then after that, after a few days, you revise the number 1 chapter and then solve the benchmarking test which is online benchmarking numbers test. Now this benchmarking test is only based on the numbers 1, and this will give you 4 level, whether you are in the learner level, capable level, ninja level, or the advanced level, depending upon the scores that you get. Now, after you have done with the benchmarking test of numbers 1, you complete one module, you move on to the next module, revise and move on to the next module, and then write the module test. So module test will be based on the entire module. We said there is NAV module, number, algebra, vocabulary. So there is a module test based on the only numbers, algebra, vocabulary on the paper pattern of IPMAT Indore. So it's a proper 2-hour test based on IPMAT Indore paper pattern. And then, once you are done with your syllables, then you need to ensure that you are solving the practice book as we discussed. In the meanwhile, you'll also solve the SIM IPM BBA. We said from Jan to June, you will be solving SIM IPM BBA. And once this is done, you will start with the exam specific full length SIM test. This is your step-by-step study plan. This is how you should be preparing or studying for the IPMAT Indore examination. Now, if we talk about the prep plan for quantitative aptitude, there will always be, a mix of easy, medium, and a difficult level question. Difficult will be few questions. Those questions are basically a speed breaker, you can say that. I mean, those questions are supposed to be left in the exam. You should not be attempting in the exam. Multi-level concept application based question. So you will have question which is based on trigonometry and logarithm, combination of that. You will have coordinate geometry and trigonometry. You will have logarithm with matricial determinant or trigonometry with matricial determinant. You will have functions and you will have logarithm. So there will be mix and mixture of topics which will be tested in the IPMAT Indore QA section. That also means that the question will require in-depth understanding of the concept. If you are good at it, okay, if you are good at understanding the concept, if you are good at cracking what concept has been used, then I think you should be able to sail through. But that's the most difficult part of cracking the IPMAT Indore question. This is very, very crucial. Develop an art of identifying the concept used in the question. At least 30 to 40% of the questions will be lengthy or difficult. So once you identify what is the concept used in the question, you need to then identify whether this question is going to be lengthy or it's going to be short, whether I'll be taking 1.5 minutes or probably I'll be spending 3 to 4, 5 minutes in the question. And trust me, you will develop this habit of identifying the concept used and the time that you would spend on a question as and when you progress with your preparation. It won't come today. I cannot teach you that. You have to develop that art of understanding. That is more crucial. And the another art that you need to understand is the art of leaving question. There are 30 questions in a QA MCQ section. You will not be able to attempt all 30 questions in the stipulated 40 minutes. If you are able to attempt 20-22 questions, trust me guys, you will be in the top 1 percentile of the student will be attempting that many questions. So if you are able to attempt anything more than 22, you should be fair, that's a fair enough deal. However, as we saw earlier, you don't even require 20 attempts to clear the sectional cutoff. So even if you want to attempt 20 questions, it means that you need to leave 10 questions. So your ego should not come in between कि यार ये question मुझे कैसे नहीं आ सकता है. If you want to crack that question, solve that question after the exam gets over and satisfy your ego, but not in the exam. So you need to ensure that if the time taken for that particular question is going to be more, you should not be solving that question in the exam, even if you know that you will be able to get it in 5 or 6 minutes. Leave that question aside, come outside the examination hall and then solve it. That's the art that you need to develop. You need to develop an art of leaving a question probably in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, depending upon how much time you are going to take to solve that question. Okay, so this is something very crucial. Again, it will develop over a period of time. It cannot be taught. A common mistake that student does is, they generally solve only MCQ question. They do not solve short answer questions. Okay, so what I would suggest is while you are practicing, you ensure that you are solving the MCQ as well as short answer section parallelly. Okay, I mean, you solve 20 MCQ, you solve 10 short answer or probably 10 short answer, 5 short answer, but at least ensure that you're solving short answer question. Okay. Let's move on to the topic wise, breakup. So in obviously, these are the topics which are generally scoring because, all the exam will test you whether it is Rohtog or NPAT, Indore. Will have arithmetic, numbers, linear and quadratic equation, data interpretation, logical reasoning. This is something which is very scoring, and I don't see a serious IPMAT Indore aspirant should have any problem in cracking the questions which are based on this topic. So this is something which is must to do, must know topic. Now, if you want to, okay, one more thing. If you know this topic, chances are very high that you will be able to clear the sectional cutoff also. Not always, but chances are very high. Okay. Now, I always keep on saying that you need to score as high as possible and just not clear the sectional cutoff. If you would have seen my last video on ATS calculation, aptitude test calculation, I have clearly mentioned that it is not about clearing the sectional cutoff, it is about how much more you can score as compared to the sectional cutoff. And hence these topics play a very crucial, very important role. Topics like coordinate geometry, trigonometry, matrices determinant, sequence and series, functions in equality graphs, modulus, logarithm, permutation combination, probability and binomial theorem. Now these are the topics where students generally find difficulty and student hates them. If you are one of them who hate few topics, today is the time to mark this topic. Let's say I don't like trigonometry, matrices determinant, function inequality and graph. We have 16 months time. Trust me guys, 16 month में तो कोई कुछ भी सीख सकता है. Okay. I mean, take 1 month to solve only trigonometry, nothing more. Take 1 month to solve only matrices and determinant. Take 1 month for function, one for inequality, one for graph. So 5 months, if you are solving every day 1 hour, half an hour to 1 hour of every topic, I think in 5 months you'll be able to clear these 5 topics. I don't see a reason. Right now, I don't see a reason where I would say you ki chalo isko skip karo. This is not the time to skip any topic. And now, since you are watching my video right now, you need to ensure that there is no topic which you should be skipping next year in the month of April and May. You need to ensure that you are thorough with this following topic. As simple as that. Okay, why do you want to skip a topic? Why do you want to not practice the question from all the topics? What if there is a very easy or a straightforward question in IPMAT 26 from functions and matrices determinant? Probably you will skip because you don't know matrices determinant. But what if the question turns out to be an easy one? Yeah. So practice enough and make sure that you are comfortable with every topic which is listed on this on the board. Then we move to the VA prep plan. The VA prep plan is very easy. You need to do everything. You need to do everything because there are 45 questions. We saw the good question, the good number of questions that to be attempted was 38 to 40 questions. Which means ideally you are attempting everything. Ideally speaking, you are attempting everything. Okay. So the topics that you need to cover is grammar, phrasal verbs and idioms, vocabulary, reading comprehension, para jumbles and para completion. These are the topics that you need to be covering. And this section is going to be a game changer because students are able to attempt 44, 45 questions and students are scoring 150, 160, 170 odd marks. Okay, and that's because it's pretty easy. It is not even half the difficulty of quant. This is very straightforward question. It is same as what you have done in your schooling days, except for vocabulary, phrasal verbs and idioms. But now we have 15, 16 months left. If we have 16 months left, take 10 vocabulary every day. You have 1600 vocab. Let's say 1600 chalo, 1000 vocabulary, 1000 new vocab word in next 16 months. Don't you think it's going to be possible? It should be possible, correct? Similarly, phrasal verbs and idioms. Can you have a list of phrasal verb and just make sure that you have gone through the list of phrasal verb at least 6-7 times so that you know what is the meaning of every phrasal verb and every idioms? Grammar is very straightforward. Reading comprehension and Indore is straightforward. Para completion is straightforward. Para jumble is slightly difficult. I would say difficult because there are no options. You need to type in the answers. Okay, and hence para jumble becomes difficult. For everyone. So phrasal verb, idiom and vocabulary is going to be the game changer. If you are able to get everything correct or 90% accuracy in this question type, you will have at least around what 12 to 15 question of vocabulary, phrasal verb and idioms. If you are able to get it 90% accuracy, you are sailing through the verbal ability section. You will probably score 140, 150 plus marks. That is for sure. Okay, it's, as I said, it's very high scoring. That would change your ATS score, and you will be probably in the top 10 AIR rank if you are able to score 160, 150, 160 plus in verbal ability. Okay. Overall test taking strategy. So for QA section, you will use ABC strategy for selection. Now there is a separate video on how to select the question in quantitative ability section using the ABC technique. What is ABC technique? How you should use it? There is another video of mine which is there available. So just go and watch that if you haven't watched it yet. It's a high scoring nature. Verbal ability, as I mentioned, verbal ability is going to be high scoring. You need to score as many marks as possible, and make sure that you attempt 40, 45 odd question. If you are able to attempt everything, great, superb. Okay, but at the same time, because you want to attempt everything, make sure that you are not making silly mistake and attracting those -1 penalty marks. Ideally, in QA section, you should be attempting minimum 50%. 50 to 70% is it's a good attempt. Anything more, the merrier. Okay, less than 50% chances slightly reduces, and hence ensure that you are attempting at least around 50% of the question in the exam in each section. Verbal ability, 85 to 90% question you should be attempting. Out of 45, 90% would boil down to somewhere 40 odd questions. Okay, so yeah, around 37 to 40 questions is something that you should be looking at. I don't see you should be attempting anything less than 35 questions, because then your chances of clearing the cutoff reduces. I mean, if the cutoff, what we have seen cutoff 112, 125 and 113 in last 3 years, if that has been the cutoff, if you are attempting anything less than 35, then your accuracy has to be extremely good to clear the cutoff. And I keep on saying that, you are not focusing only on clearing the cutoff, your focus should be scoring as high marks as possible. Solve 10 to 15 IPMAT Indore mock test and try different strategies. And last 5 to 10 mock, ensure that the strategy that you have finalized, you are using only that strategy, so that on the day of on the final day, on the D day of the exam, you know what strategy it is, and you just simply go and write another mock on that day. Okay, I always keep on saying that the exam that you write on the actual day, the D day, that should be your last mock. Okay, so that's how the mentality should be. Analysis is the key. A lot of students make a mistake and they don't analyze the paper. They keep on writing the mock, and then they come to us say कि sir score नहीं बढ़ रहा है. अरे score कैसे बढ़ेगा? If you do not analyze, and if you don't know what is the mistake that you are making, or for that matter, you don't know what are your strength and weak areas, why did you made error in this question, you are going to make the same mistake, same repetitive mistakes in the next mock. And hence you need to analyze every mock. Only after doing the analysis you should go and write the next mock. How to analyze a mock? There is another video of around 8-10 minutes available. Just go and watch that video. I think that should be the game changer. That's it from my end. Thank you so much. I am sure this video was helpful. If you need any other video that need to be made to address your queries, to address your concern, please do let us know. We will come up with that video very soon. Till then, bye bye.